We are in Lyons Creek Township in Lyon County, Minnesota. This is Eldred Swanson owns the land, and Evan Swanson, his great nephew, farms it. Today we have construction going on for the water and sediment basins. A water and sediment basin is a berm constructed to stop water and soil erosion. This is a fairly typical basin project. The only difference is this one, you can see the direct effect with the lake right below the basins. We do a fair amount of water and sediment basins here right off the Buffalo Ridge. The reason NRCS is so involved with these basins is we have a lot of elevation and fall in the fields, and there's a lot of concentrated flow erosion, and they work out well for the farmers. They farm straight through the basins and it doesn't take up any land. Evan had come into the Natural Resources Conservation Office to discuss the erosion in his draws, and we had explained our options with EQIP or state cost share money to construct basins and install tile. A series of waterways had been farmed out or had become obsolete, and with 2019, with the heavy rainfall, the erosion started in the gullies. Evan is a beginning farmer, so this is one of his first projects he has been working with us.
My farm is outside of Russell, Minnesota, surrounding Wood Lake. My farm is split 50-50 corn and beans, roughly 250 acres of corn and 250 acres of beans. I have been farming since 2016. I farm with my dad, and then my brothers help after their regular jobs. We're working with NRCS to put up basins to try to slow down erosion of the land that all flows down towards the lake and to keep the soil where it should be. So the reason we decided to put these basins in here was we had waterways that ran through these fields, and a lot of them, the water wasn't running down them anymore. It was washing next to them, and over the years, they just weren't kept up anymore, and they were getting really rough to drive through and farm through. So we went to these basins and kind of just went away from having waterways out here. We have about 10 water sediment control basins that stretch across roughly 155 acres that all surround the lake.
These types of projects are very important, especially when you have a direct point of the lake. We can stop erosion from coming into the lake, stop the nutrients from entering the lake. Each basin is approximately 300 to 400 feet long with a bottom base of about 30 feet. A basin can take anywhere from a half hour to a half a day to design. Then the tile is designed after that, and this tile ended up being fairly large with a 15-inch dual wall at the bottom to maintain the flow. And the tile towards the top is corrugated polyethylene pipe, and it ranges from 5-inch up to 12. There's also 4 tile outlets. There's 4 different lines on this field that will be entering the lake. A basin takes approximately 1 to 2 days to construct, depending on the size and the height. So this project, there is 10 basins, and they have been out here for roughly 10 days with some weather delays. They are putting blacktop on the constructed basins now. It's been brought up to design grade, and now they're putting settlement on the black dirt so it can be farmed over. I was involved with the survey and design of the project, and as well as the construction inspection and the certification. The first step of the basin design process is figuring out the watersheds and the soil loss that would be needed so we know how much water and soil to store in the basins. Once the project is designed and funded, the first process would be to put underground tile in the basin areas to provide an outlet for the basins. The second step would be getting the basins constructed, and that would be stripping the topsoil, placing the clay in the berms, and then topsoil them after that. They start by stripping the topsoil off of the borrow area and the area that the berm will be placed. Then they place clay up to design grade, and then they put topsoil back on and allow for 10% settlement of the berm. We require 6 inches of topsoil to be placed on top of the clay that is built to move to build the berm. The final step, once they are all constructed, would be to seed them. They'll seed a mix of perennial rye and smooth brome grass. The construction company is doing a wonderful job. This is the 3rd or 4th project I've worked on them with. We have good communication. I check the basins when they are at design level, and then When they are finished, I check them to make sure they meet our standards and specs. This is an EQIP project that was signed up in 2021. As part of Evan's EQIP contract, he signed up for no-till, cover crops, and the basins and tile.
So the construction process started with surveying it and getting it all laid out, and then having the tile guys come, finding all old tiles that were already in this field, and then running all new lines of tile up to where the basins were going to be. And once all the tile got done, we had the dirt work all done, and that's what actually made the basins that you see here. And then once the basins were all constructed, had it surveyed again to make sure it was how it was supposed to be, and then lastly we planted grass seed over top of the basins. It took about 3 weeks in the fall to put all the tile in, and then another 3 weeks in the spring to finish the dirt work and get it surveyed and finished out. So far it's gone really good. We have not nearly the washouts that we have on this that used to be in this when it used to be in conventional tillage, so it helps a lot with erosion of the land. It benefits the lake, keeping a lot of the soil that's from the fields from washing down into it. We see all sorts of, a lot of geese and ducks in the fall, and there's deer that run through here. And working with NRCS was real simple. They always answered any questions you had and were timely at getting out here and getting things surveyed so that the project could move along smoothly. The process of actually getting them was pretty simple. A couple phone calls, and pretty much everyone we worked with had done basin projects before, so they had a good idea of what was going on, and it went real smoothly.
Evan had come into the field office to discuss concerns about erosion that was coming into Wood Lake. It's worked very well with Evan on this project. He's more than willing to do the steps needed to make this project go. The Swansons are very conservation-minded farmers. They do no-till, strip-till, and minimum till. They also put down covers and split-apply nitrogen. The
reason why we do a lot of conservation tillage and strip tillage is, one, it takes a lot less manpower to come out here. We only have to make one pass over our fields a lot of times. It saves on time of just one pass. Usually in the fall for strip tillage or vertical tillage or no-till, we'll only do one pass in the spring, and we'll do no pass on a lot of our bean ground in the fall. So when we strip till, it helps us save on fertilizer because we only put fertilizer down in the strip where we're going to come and plant the next year. And it also allows us to variable rate our fertilizer to put fertilizer down in the places that need it more and less in places that need it less. Another benefit would be you save on fuel costs, especially nowadays with fuel being real high. You cut back on that quite a bit. And then also there's pretty good programs through NRCS that help with the funding of the programs to get you into it. For the no-till conservation tillage, we use the EQIP program to help fund it. If you're interested in water and sediment basins, you should stop into your local field office and visit with them, and they will get a knowledgeable person to come look at your field.